What's going on, y'all? Thank you for coming on my channel. My name is Wally, and you are now tuned into PBH TV.
Hey, this the King of Melodies beat.
We back with some more Trump news in the world of fake news, baby. Listen, right now, Trump is about to take audience questions about wokeness, education, and advice to the young conservatives. So let's go, baby. Sit back and react with your boy. Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe to the channel, and definitely hit that notification bell. And if you want to see exclusive and uncensored content, make sure you join the Patreon. Let's go.
I'll shake a few hands. Question, ma'am, go ahead. Hello.
Hi, welcome, President Trump.
Thank you.
Okay, so you kind of already answered my question a little bit, but my question was, when you become president again, what would the first thing you'll do to fix our current school system and even our current military that's only focusing on teaching woke gender ideology over learning the basics of life and history and protecting us?
So, good question. Some of it partially answered, but not all. With the military, we're ending woke immediately. You know, I ended woke, totally. And then they, in their first week, they reestablished it. It's crazy. They pay instructors hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. It literally, literally, they want our military to be woke. And it's just not going to happen. You read in Hawaii where they had the horrible fire where they have people going there. And before they bring them on board, they have to study woke for a week. Can you believe this? In other words, everyone's wanting to get back to their home, finding the bodies. It was such a tragedy. You don't read about it too much anymore, but hell is going on over there. And they want to give them classes in essentially wokeness. Can you believe? So, you know, you've seen it. Well, we'll end that very quickly. We will, with the school, I think the schools are very important. We're going to bring our education department back. Now, if you look at our education, we pay more per pupil than any country in the world by 3 times. And yet we're at the bottom of the list. We have a bad, very bad. If a place like Iowa, as an example, if you could run your own and we give you just a percentage of the money, because you wouldn't need nearly the money that they waste in Washington. Number one, you love your students, you want your students, you know your students. The parents will be involved. That's the other thing. We're going to let the parents, because some of these school boards have become tyrannical. They've been horrible. But we're going to bring that back, and that's going to answer your question, because I think that we can have one of the best school systems in the world. Right now we have one of the worst. They basically rate 40 countries, and we're always at close to the bottom of the list. Sometimes.
I mean, if you ask me, we have a lot of useless curriculums in school, especially in college. A lot of majors that people take, and there's nothing they can do with it after they graduate. You understand what I mean? So it seems like this country, they make money off our ignorance more than making us not be ignorant. You get me?
Sometimes the bottom of the list, and spending more money than anybody else. So we're going to take care of all of your needs very quickly, and I think it's going to happen very quickly. And one of the things we're doing, closing the border day one and starting drilling for oil. Okay? We're going to drill, baby, drill. Right?
Eddie's Fast Connection, take 2.
Okay, do you have one over here? Yes, please.
Welcome to Iowa, President Trump.
Thank you very much.
Here's my question. I felt that the 2020 election was fraudulent. So what measures are being taken by the RNC to make sure that that doesn't happen again?
Okay, well, you're not the only one, because if you look at polls, many, many people, big percentage of the country felt it was, you know, they used COVID to cheat, but they would have cheated anyway. Many precautions, many law firms have been hired, a lot of work has been done, and beyond RNC, I mean, I wasn't very thrilled with them, obviously. You know, I was always told you go out, you campaign. I left here early in the morning and...
You know, sometimes it makes you think. You got to pay attention when they talk. Some things just fly over our heads sometimes, but you got to pay attention how he said what they used to cheat. Regardless, pay attention. Always pay attention, yo. Because if that is the truth, wow, man. They put a lot of people in danger just for the sake of someone else not winning something. You get me? That's deep right there. Think about it.
You go home and you think you've done great. I actually made 7 rallies on the last day or two. 7. I don't know anybody's going to do 7 rallies, and they're big rallies, and they were full-scale rallies. And I left and I said, we're going to win. And at 10 o'clock in the evening, I looked at the numbers, and it was over. We were doing so well. Pennsylvania, all these states were doing so well. Then all of a sudden, they made adjustments and all this crap, and it was a horrible thing. So they were able to do things with COVID. Oh, we can't go vote. We can't this. We can't that. Mail-in voting. We have a lot of great people involved. That's more than anything else. I say, I don't want help in getting the vote. I only want help. It used to be called election day. Now it's called election period because some of these things last for like 2 months, right? I said, that's all I want. I want people to work because we went back and we did great. And then the vote comes in and then it was looking great. And then all of a sudden, this horrible thing happened. And by the way, it's all down. People know it. We had judges that didn't want to get involved. They were afraid. Everybody was afraid. They were afraid of the subject. It's a disgrace. What happened to our country is a total disgrace.
Listen, if you ask me, he is not lying right there on that part, yo. Real talk. Remember all those people going in the stores causing havoc, breaking everything? You don't see that no more, right? You know why you don't see that anymore? It's because that was definitely orchestrated. You understand me? People needed to see someone do it so they could follow. And they don't see no one doing it no more, so no one is following that. You get me? Pay attention, baby.
Okay, disgrace. So, and look at the results. I mean, look at the results. I mean, practically every problem that we talked about today wouldn't have happened. You wouldn't have happened. Inflation wouldn't have happened. I mean, so many of these things that we talk about today, we wouldn't even be thinking about. Look at the supply chain. Who ever heard of a supply chain where people can't deliver? You couldn't get baby food. You couldn't get anything. The only thing you could get is all the drugs you wanted. You could get drugs.
Facts.
You could get cocaine. I wonder whose cocaine that was, by the way. And, what about that deal? Packages of cocaine. And they said, well, we don't know. No, we don't know. And then when they went for the fingerprint thing, you know, everybody's there, fingerprints all, it was wiped clean.
Carly's mommy has a disease called addiction. Addiction makes people feel like they need a grown-up drink called alcohol or another kind of drug to feel okay. That can make a person act strange in ways they can't control.
Not one fingerprint. Not one fingerprint, which is impossible. You can go to any place in this room, there's fingerprints all over the place, especially those cubicles. So we're going to be working very hard. That's my number one thing, much more so than campaigning, actually, is that they don't cheat on the election. Because they will try, and they'll be successful to an extent. But we're not going to let them steal this election because this country is going to fail. I'll tell you, I don't think the people of this country will allow it to happen either, because this country is on a very thin edge right now. Thank you very much for the question. Thank you. Appreciate it.
I want to thank you, President, for all that you've done. And a question I want to ask you is, I'm telling you, no man can endure what you have endured. Do you realize that God is behind you and strengthening you? Do you realize that?
Well, I appreciate what you're saying. I understand what you're saying, too. It's been a terrible thing in so many ways. The only thing, the great gratitude I get, I'm looking at polls now where we're 50 points, 60 points up, you know, among all these people. And we're beating Biden in all these polls, and we're beating everybody. And we have had to endure. We endured a fake Russia thing for years. We endured all of this stuff, all fake. And think of how bad these people were. A guy like Adam Shifty, he's a real bad guy. I call him pencil neck. He's got the smallest neck I've ever seen. He's not going to be playing for your local teams, Iowa State. They're not going to be recruiting him to play football. But Adam Schiff, he makes up with Hillary and with the Democrats. They make up the Russia scam. He knows it's a scam. Think about how bad. I have sons and daughters. And, you know, we love our sons and daughters, right? And I watch him on television one day. So he knows it's a hoax. Russia. It turned out to be a total hoax. No collusion. There was no anything. So he knows it's a hoax right in the middle. And he goes out to the microphones after leaving the meeting, which is supposed to be very, quiet. Nobody's supposed to know what goes on in there. He goes out to the microphone. He goes, the president's son, Donald Trump Jr., will go to prison for what he's done. Now, he knows it's a hoax. Think of it. It's not like I'm reading and seeing, and I watch this guy telling me. I'm watching him saying that my son is going to prison My son is going to prison. And I know that he had nothing to do. There was nothing. There was, the whole thing was made up. It was a made up story. You know why it was made up? It was an excuse why Hillary lost. They said, let's blame Russia. And it was supposed to be a one-day deal, but the fake news wouldn't let it be one day. And the fake news carried it and on and on and on. We have the same thing right now. It's going on still. Do you know that if I got indicted, but because the people know me so well, they know it's all bullshit. It's all bullshit. They know that. And think of it. They say he questioned the election. He questioned, well, everybody in this room questioned the election. The Democrats questioned 2016. They were all standing up. They were forming cards. They were forming all sorts of things. They were all, and those are the same guys that say it's so corrupt. Washington's a corrupt place. But think of it, you're watching some guy on television, a high-ranking congressman, say that your son is going to prison, and he knows that it was a hoax. I mean, how bad do you have to be to do that? And then it gets, no collusion after 2.5 years. And then 2 weeks go by, and I had a little piece. I focused on China and other things. It's almost the easy subject, right?
Yo, it seems like all the powers that be is trying to go against your boy, you understand? They're using everything from A to Z. Yo, with that being said, let me know if you agree or disagree what you think about this whole speech right here that he just gave. You already know what to do. Like, comment, share, subscribe to the channel, and definitely hit the notification bell. I will see you in the next one. Don't forget, if you want to see some more exclusive and uncensored content, hit the Patreon. See you in the next one. Y'all love.